What up guys, it's Teppo here. Day 6 of the quarantine right now. We are halfway through. Feeling pretty good. I got mostly just like flu symptoms still, but definitely feels good to be outside. I think this is the second time that I've gone outside, even if it is just to bring out the garbage. Let's see if I can do the trick shots like my good friend Peter Lindgren. Here's the garbage. I'm gonna attempt to throw through this little hole over here into this garbage. So let's lift this up. Here goes nothing. Sensei would be proud. Can you tell I'm getting maybe a little bit bored being on quarantine, so I gotta come up with my own fun and games. But yeah, just a quick update. We are feeling a lot better. We only had fever and cold symptoms the first day, but now we just have very mild flu symptoms. But I just want to thank all of you guys who commented on my last video, all the well wishes, prayers, warm thoughts, virtual chicken noodle soups that people sent me. I really appreciate all of them, especially me being an extrovert and being quarantined and isolated from people. It really is a nice feeling to be able to connect with you guys, a part of this community. And yeah, it makes you just feel like we're all in this together. So thank you so much for commenting on my last video. It's a lot warmer today. It isn't the maybe most beautiful day, but I thought I would take you along for a walk to my favorite forest, if that's okay. Shake if you are okay with that. I can't see your shaking heads, but I appreciate you shaking your head. Maybe just put a thumbs up in the comments section. Usually I would never drive to my favorite forest because it's literally probably like 500 meters down the street, but we've got COVID and you need to, you know, reserve your energy levels. We're gonna drive there and then I'll take you to the forest. If it's okay with you guys, I thought I'd just do a little bit of droning because, well, I thought it'd be fun to show you off my favorite forest, which is literally in my backyard. Calibrating. I honestly don't know how I still have this DJI Mavic Air. It has served me well, but it might be time to upgrade this thing because as nice as it is when it comes to its size, the range is not that good. It definitely cuts out a lot, so maybe I'll have to get the Air 2S or the new Mavic Pro Cine? You know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but the good one. There's a lot of snow. The best part about taking a walk in the forest is that when it's a really windy day like today, even though it is mild, it feels really cold. But then when you get to the forest, all of a sudden the wind will just stop. Hopefully the audio will sound better as well, because if you guys have been listening to the last 10 minutes of just windy noise, I apologize. This is my forest, right here in my own backyard. If it's okay with you guys, I thought that today's video would be an encouragement video because I've had this thought on my mind and I've just wanted to get it out there and share it with you guys. And that's this idea of just going for it. I think we all have something in our life that we'd love to pursue and we'd love to do, whether that be like me, a full-time content creator, or maybe you want to be a doctor or a pilot. But we all have something, a dream that we want to pursue, but we just don't go for it. For me, making that decision to become a full-time YouTube content creator in January was a huge step for me. I've said no to all freelance gigs, to all weddings, and I'm just focusing on this one thing. I've literally decided to go for it, to go all in, and I'm so excited about it because I'm already seeing the fruit of my decision. Just in this month, it's January 13th right now, and I've posted 3 videos, and those 3 videos have gotten 50,000 views, which excites me because that's 50,000 different people that have watched my videos and have learned or have been encouraged to take the next step in their journey. Now, I don't think I would be where I am right now if I hadn't made that decision to go full-time this month, or that initial decision back in 2017 to just start my YouTube channel. I would have never been where I am today without making that decision back in 2017. There's some snow on the lens. Let me get it off. Oh, there's water too. Sorry, ZV1, I'm putting you through the ropes. Now, I often encourage my friends by saying that if you were to just go for it, you'll most likely succeed. And not because they are so talented or the best at what they do. There's probably 10, 20, 30, 100 people who are better than them, but they just never went for it. So that's why I always say that if you just go for it, you'll probably succeed at it. Look at this winter wonderland we've hit. We've got to duck down trees and there's little archways just waiting for us here. This is literally like Narnia right now here in Finland. I love it. And listen how quiet it is. You just hear the wind and the rustling of the trees a little bit. Now, when it comes to YouTube and this content creation world, I think the classic excuse that a lot of people say is that there's already too many channels. And I would call out that excuse and say that's BS, because if you think of any creative world, musicians, artists, photographers, videographers, there's always gonna be space for more. There's always gonna be a need for new music. If there was too much already, we would just be listening to all the old music, which we are, but we're also listening to the new music. So I think there's always room for new content creators, artists, creatives, but you just gotta step out there and go for it. Because even though there are already a lot of great content creators and artists out there, there's constantly new creators popping up, and we are listening to new music all the time, and we are watching new YouTube channels all the time. I think we should treat YouTube channels like a show. A show doesn't run forever. At some point they start and then they end, which creates room and space constantly for new YouTube channels. So if you are a creative and you have been wanting to start a YouTube channel for a long time, just go for it. What's the worst that could happen? Personally, I think probably the #1 reason that stops people from starting a YouTube channel or going out for their dreams is just fear. Their fear of failure, it paralyzes them and it causes them to never start what they're dreaming of starting. But personally, I would much rather live a life of going for it rather than a life of what if. Because I hate that feeling of, well, what if I would have done that? What would have happened then? I don't want to live life with regret. So yeah, that's my encouragement for 2022. Go for it. I'm giving you permission, just go for it. And most likely you will succeed, which will be awesome. I'll be very excited for you guys. All right, my nose is starting to sniffle out here. I think I've had enough time outside for the day. My quota is filled during my quarantine, so let's go back home and have lunch. Now, as a bonus to this encouraging message, I want to give some practical tips to you guys, because there's one thing to be encouraged and, pumped up to go for it, but there's another thing to actually do something about it. So if you want to succeed in going for it, here are some practical steps to help you. Step #1, set a date. Now, you don't want to set a date that's too far away, like in 2025, because you're totally going to forget about it and it's not motivating at all. But you don't as well want to set a date too close, because it just might not be practical or realistic and you're going to set yourself up for failure. So set a date that's not too far but not too close, but that's going to put a little bit of fire under the butt in order for you to go for it and start living out your dream. Step #2, tell 5 friends about your decision. Telling people out loud is gonna make your decision become more concrete. And not only will it become more concrete, as well, you can allow these 5 friends to be your accountability partners. When it's coming closer to your date, your friends then can put some fire under your butt in order for you to actually go for it. So tell 5 friends about your dream and the date that you've set for yourself. And step #3 is write yourself an action plan. You're gonna write down 4 or 5 steps that you need to take care of in order for you to go for it and start living out your dream. So for example, if you are a content creator and you wanna become a YouTuber, maybe your step #1 will be brainstorm a niche. Step #2, sign up for Gmail and get a YouTube channel account. And the list will go on depending on what your dream is and what your goals are. But I find a lot of times when we have this big audacious goal in our mind, it can feel so big and so overwhelming that that feeling alone kind of paralyzes you. Whereas if you take your dream and then you break it down into action steps, all of a sudden you realize it's just one step at a time you get closer to your dream. So set yourself some action goals. and I'm pretty sure that you will actually go for it and succeed in the near future. So guys, let 2022 be the year of going for it. And I'd love to challenge you guys, if you have a dream and you've made a decision to go for it, why don't you comment below the date and a dream for what you're gonna go for, and allow this community to keep you accountable. I think that'd be pretty cool to hear what your guys' dreams are and when you're gonna go for it, and for us to keep each other accountable. You know, if Steve from Arizona says, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, Steve, we're gonna keep you accountable and ask you on that date, hey, have you started your YouTube channel? If you haven't, why not? So comment below your dream and when you're gonna go for it. I'd be so excited to hear what you guys have in store for 2022.